all silk, 60 grandma, brothers on diet, I can list her all. Mom's out on touch with reality, and daddy's in the ground beneath the maple tree, while the angels sing an old Hank Williams song. And time marches on, and time marches on, and time marches on, time marches on. Yeah, time marches on. Yeah, time marches on. What do you say when it's over? Don't know if I should say anything at all. One day you're roaming in the clover, next thing you know you take the fall. Still I think about the years since I first met you, and weighing my been without you here. I don't know if words from me can still upset you, but I just gotta make these memories stay clear. So I'm leaving here a better man, knowing you were this way. Things I couldn't know before, now I think I can. And I'm leaving here a better man. Yes, I always knew I couldn't hold you, but I knew be the one to set you free. Just like some nursery rhyme your mama told you. Yeah, you still believe in some are meant to be. That's why I'm leaving here a better man, knowing you were this way. Things I couldn't do before, now I think I can. And I'm leaving here a better man. Yes, I'm leaving here a better man, knowing you were this way. Things I couldn't know before, now I know I can. And I'm leaving here a better man. Woo! Good morning, everybody. It's going to be a great day. Well, my band opened out from now till the hairpin's warm. I'm just trying to make a living watching that bound hills have fun. Well, I know this love to it happens on the dance hall floor. Mercy, look what just walked through that door. Well, hello, T-R-O-U, and me. Tell me what in the world you doing here along with me? I said, hey, mine too. I said, hey, the nail double on K-I-N-G. Yeah, when I smell T-R-O-E-L-E. He's a young moon coming up tonight, shine through the train. Crickets are singing and lightning bugs are floating on a breeze. Baby, get ready. Across the field where the creek top ends by the old stone road, I'm gonna take you to a special place that nobody knows. Baby, get ready. You ready? You and me going fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and counting the stars. Let the cool grass grow. Down by the river in the full moonlight, and falling in love in the middle of the night, just cool and slow. Stand on that through. Feels so good to be with you. Spring is on summer and summer's come and the days all get long. I waited on when upon time to be right just to take you along.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we could ask you to take your seats, the show will begin in 10 minutes.
If we sit forever and the fish don't bite, we jump in a river and cool ourselves from the heat of the night. Baby, get ready. Here we go now. Ooh, you and me going fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and counting the stars. The cool grounds grow. Down by the river in the full moonlight, we'll be falling in love in the middle of the night, just cool and slow. Stand on that bridge, feels so good to be with you and me, go fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and counting the stars. The cool grass grow. Down by the river in the full moonlight, we fall in love in the middle of the night, just cool and slow. Stand on that bridge, feels so good to be with you. And you and me going fishing in the dark. She was standing in the front door. I come home last night. A notebook in the left hand and a roll of pen in the right. You said you'd come home for the last time with whiskey on your breath. If you don't listen to my preaching, boy, I'll have to beat your head to death. Give me just one more last chance before you say we're through. I know I drive you crazy, baby, it's the best that I can do. We just good old boys and making noise, ain't running around on you. Give me just one more last chance before you say we're through. First she hid my glasses, 'cause she knows that I can't see. You said you ain't going nowhere, boy. Spend a little time with me. And then a boat's call from the honky tonk. There's a party going on down here. Somebody took my car key. She forgot about my old John Deere. Give me just one more last chance before we say we're through. I know I drive you crazy, baby, it's the best that I can do. We just good old boys making noise, ain't running around on you. Give me just one more last chance before you say we're through. Burn them up now. Give me just one more last chance before you say we're through. I know I drive you crazy, baby, it's the best that I can do. We just good old boys making noise, ain't running around on you. Give me just one more last chance before you say we're through. Give me just one more last chance before you say we're through. All right. Yeah, well, I left Oklahoma, driving in a Pontiac, just about to lose my mind. Well, I was on very
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show will begin in 5 minutes. We could ask you to move to your delegate locations as quickly as possible.
dumb and lazy. I was gonna show 'em all this time. 'Cause nobody would be grieving if I said that I'm late. And I went on back to Tulsa time. And I'm living on Tulsa time. Yeah, I'm living on Tulsa time. Well, you know I've been good at when I set my watch back to it. I'm living on Tulsa time. Woo! but they don't need me anymore. 'Cause ain't nobody sings my song. Guess I'm just wasting time.
Please silence all electronic devices. Our show is about to begin.
All this time, 'cause nobody would be grieving if I said that I'm leaving. And I went on back to Tulsa time. And I'm living on Tulsa time. Yeah, I'm living on Tulsa time. Well, you know I've been through it when I set my watch back to it. I'm living on Tulsa time. And I'm living on Tulsa time. Yeah, I'm living on Tulsa time. Well, you know I've been through it when I set my watch back to it. I'm living on Tulsa time. It's gonna be a great day, guys.
Welcome to the 2026 Texas GOP Convention. Please welcome to the stage Reverend Kassan Huddleston, Republican nominee for State Board of Education, District 9.
Well, good morning, Texas. Come on, turn around and high five two people and say, thank God I'm a Republican. I want you, if you can, to stand with me as we open up this convention appropriately. Probably one of my favorite movies is Remember the Titans. And one of my favorite scenes is the cemetery scene at Gettysburg, where Coach Boone delivers a very powerful speech urging about unity. And I quote, "If we don't come together right now on this hallowed ground, we too will be destroyed just like they were." My fellow Republicans, as we've gathered here in Houston, I believe this convention center, this place is hallowed ground because we are the party that puts God first and forefront with everything that we do. Amen? We must come together at this time or we too will be destroyed. So right now in this hallowed place, let's unify and let's bow our heads and pray. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, we come before you today, lifting up holy hands, giving you thanks for another chance to stand for truth in the great state of Texas. Lord, you've been faithful from the Panhandle to the Valley, from the Red River to the Gulf of America, from the Sabine River to the Rio Grande, and Lord, we bless your holy name in this state. Your word says, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, and we thank you for this great state. We thank you for the freedoms we enjoy. Come on, family. The families that we serve, the communities that we represent, and the responsibility that you have placed in our very hands. And Father, as we open up this convention, we ask you to meet us in this place. I pray, let wisdom walk these aisles. Let peace sit in every seat, and let truth guide every conversation. And Lord, most of all, let unity cover this entire gathering. Lord, let every conversation be seasoned with grace and every disagreement stay within the bounds of love. Help us remember we're not one another's enemy. The enemy is out there. We are on the same team. we're fighting for the same cause, lifting up the same name under the same banner of liberty. Come on, family. We unite today with strength, with discipline and holy resolve. Let every division be healed, every distraction be silenced, and every personal agenda surrendered to the greater mission that we're gathered together. Lord, unite us as one voice so that we can stand strong against the wickedness of woke ideology that tries to confuse our children. To stand strong against the demonic deception of DEI that divides what you called family and replaces the truth of your image with the lie of a man-made categories. And Lord, we stand against every radical and evil force, yes, even the spirit of radical Islam that seeks to undermine the Judeo-Christian foundations of this nation. Unify us today, Lord. Unify us today. Lord, where there's division, bring healing. Where there's confusion, bring clarity. And where there's weariness today, renew our strength. Order our steps, strengthen us again, and let everything be done here in this place bring honor to you and blessings to the great state. And everybody said, amen and amen. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we commemorate the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, we proudly pause to honor the brave men and women who have defended our freedoms and safeguarded this nation through their service and sacrifice. Today, we recognize the United States Armed Forces. With all those who have served or are currently serving the United States Army, please stand and be recognized. Will all those who have served or are currently serving the United States Marine Corps please stand and be recognized? Will all those who have served or are currently serving the United States Navy please stand and be recognized? All those who have served or are currently serving in the United States Air Force, please stand and be recognized. Will all those who have served or are currently serving in the United States Space Force, please stand and be recognized. Will all those who have served or are currently serving in the United States Coast Guard please stand and be recognized. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome State Republican Executive Committeeman and United States Navy veteran, Steve Evans.
It ain't me. It ain't me. Senator song. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one.
Good morning, delegates. I hope you are fired up and ready to go. Woo! Today we proudly recognize the men and women who have defended the freedoms we enjoy every day. To all our veterans, please stand one more time so we can honor your sacrifice. Thank you for your service to the United States of America. To our active duty service members currently serving around the world on the land, sea, and air, please stand if you're here and let us thank you for your continued service and commitment to our great country. And finally, folks, it is a solemn day when a blue star turns gold. It signifies a service member has made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom and way of life. To our Gold Star families, those who have carried the tremendous weight of sacrifice in service to our nation, please rise. We honor you and remember your loved ones, and we thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you will all please rise for the presentation of colors by the Texas Department of Public Safety Honor Guard.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem, performed for you today by Natasha Owens.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and welcome your Texas House Majority Leader, Dr. Tom Alverson, for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Welcome to Houston, everybody. Who's ready to smoke some Democrats in November? Yeah. I tell you, your House Republicans are ready to go. We are ready to go. So if you would please join me, we're going to say the pledge to our American flag. And when we get to my favorite part, where we confirm our nation's lordship to our Heavenly Father, I want you to shout out some praise to our God in heaven, okay? All right, here we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank y'all. Y'all have a great convention. I'll see you around.
Please remain standing and join me in welcoming our Republican man in black, State Representative Todd Hunter, for the Texas Pledge.
Let's fire up the crowd, everybody. Come on. We're going to say the Texas Pledge. But this isn't only the best state in the nation, it's the best state in the world. Let's go, Texas. Put your hand up to your heart. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God and one and indivisible. Take care. Hello, Texas.
From the moment we're born, we're on the move, learning what's important from the families that surround us to the country we belong. They take us to pivotal moments in our lives when we have to decide what to fight for, what's worth working for, and where to spend our spare time. Every day, we saddle up to make the hours count. We sweat, sacrifice, dig in, and play hard. It's all worth it, though. Our dreams, our work, our lives. So long as we're the ones who get to decide. Our freedom is innate, God-given. It does not belong to some bureaucrat behind a desk, nor can it be traded or ignored. Especially here in Texas, where, as it turns out, the Alamo is not just a token. We're ready to stand guard to protect our most precious gifts. We're ready to put our foot down on government overreach in disguise. Our liberty is not a game to us. We understand what's on the line. Ours is a noble endeavor, so that one day our children's children can walk across the threshold of their houses. Say what they want, pray where they want, keep what they earn, with the whole world at their feet and Texas as their home. We're not just talking the talk, we're walking the walk, because it takes strong roots to build a bold future. And it all starts here.
Please welcome back Natasha Owens.
I dedicate this song to all the veterans. Thank you for our freedom.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, you've worked for all your life, and you had to start again with just your children and your wife, you thank your lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Oh, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
God bless America in this great state of Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Chairman Abraham George and the staff of the Republican Party of Texas.
Can you take me higher to a place where line and sea?
Hello, Texas! Are you all excited? Are you excited that Attorney General Ken Paxton will be our next United States Senator? Well, a lot has changed since we met last time at our last convention. Man, we were dealing with Joe Biden and his open border policies. Remember San Antonio? Well, I don't even know where Joe Biden is anymore. I don't think he knows where Joe Biden is anymore. But our border is secure. And we are deporting illegals. And with President Donald J. Trump, we are rebuilding the American dream again. In 2024, when you elected me, you asked me, and I made a promise that I would put together the most robust outreach program to flip South Texas. And I would do everything I can to elect President Donald J. Trump. I promised you that I would do everything I can to get Republican priorities passed. Well, I'm standing here today reporting to you that we elected President Donald Trump with 14-point victory, and we flipped 12 Democrat counties to Republican in 2024. We flipped the Republicans. We flipped a state Senate seat for Adam Hinojosa. You guys know him. And we flipped 2 Texas House seats in 2024. For the first time in the history of Republican Party of Texas, we were able to pass 43 legislative priorities. We added 5 new congressional districts, which is making our majority in the U.S. House from 25, going from 25 to 30. I'm standing here today reporting all of that and telling you we did the impossible because of you. Not because of me,
Because of you, we're successful. I know that person block walked. Yeah. This party, this convention belongs to you. It's not the convention of the SREC or the chairman. It belongs to you, the county chairs, the precinct chairs, the delegates, the volunteers, the activists, the candidates, the elected officials, the grassroots activists who spend countless hours and millions of dollars to build this party and continue to build this party. You showed up. You did the block walks. You talked to your neighbors, your friends, and we are successful because of you. You asked me to close our primaries. Well, this has been our fight for many decades, and where Democrats are choosing our Republican nominees, this must end. At our last convention, we amended our rules to declare independence from the election code. We went to the Secretary of State, we went to the legislators, we asked them to change the state law and stop interfering with our First Amendment right and stop messing with our primaries and having these Democrats get a say in our primaries. Amen. Well, I can tell you this, they failed. So we took them to court. Under my leadership, we filed a lawsuit against the state of Texas and the Secretary of State, and I'm proud to say our Attorney General, Ken Paxton, joined us in the lawsuit. But the Secretary of State, Jay Nelson, and I'm being a little too blunt today, decided to fight the Republican Party of Texas, allocating $1.25 million our tax dollars to fight the Republican Party of Texas. But I am standing here to tell you something. Jay Nelson will not be our Secretary of State for long. She's already tendered her resignation. Don't ever think that the grassroots are not powerful enough to make a bold statement in Texas. Don't ever doubt yourself. We are winning. We are the energy capital of the world. We are the fastest growing tech corridor in the America. Texas is leading. But above all, we have to become the capital of the conservative state of the United States of the world. Not Florida. They got nicer beaches and nicer weather probably sometimes, but Texas is the conservative state. And that starts with you here today, and we are a fighting machine. See, we're not going to be one of those party that sells more t-shirts, singing Kumbaya, going to gala. Yeah, we like all of that. I like all of that. But that's not the real reason we are here. It's all great. But the real reason we are here is because we are a fighting machine against the radical socialist Democrats. I want to show you something. Can you guys play that video?
That Jesus Christ himself was a radical feminist.
Modern science obviously recognizes that there are many more than two biological sexes. In fact, there are 6.
Prophetic voices like Jesus have helped me reckon with my own whiteness.
God is non-binary.
Yeah. No need to sit and cry over, your whiteness or your masculinity. The American flag is such a complicated symbol for most of us. Our trans community needs abortion care too.
You can't call yourself a Christian and reject the stranger seeking asylum at our southern border.
Our southern border should be like our front porch. There should be a giant welcome mat out front. We are trying to fundamentally change the politics in this state and in this country.
The question is macro Islam compatible with Western values? Macro. Of course it's not. There are 3 major reasons why. Islam does not believe in freedom of speech. Islam does not believe in freedom of religion. And Islam does not believe in separation of mosque and state. Those three things are antithetical to the West. I'm not discounting that there are good individual Muslims. The question that we need to reckon with the West is Mohammedism compatible with the teachings of Blackstone? Is it compatible with the legacy of Wilberforce? All right. And the great thinkers that have come from this country? And I will say, no, there's a reason why when you go to these Islamic countries that you're not going to see the equal protection of rights, that you do not believe in universal human equality, that you do not believe the same things that we believe in the West, and I think it's suicidal to import millions of them.
There is a radical red-green alliance going on in our country. The radical crazy Democrats and the radical Islamists, they're now openly stating that they are here to conquer the United States. They're not hiding it. If you want to find out, open YouTube and you can see that. The question today is, do we have what it takes to fight this threat? Let me rephrase it for you. If you and I don't stand together and fight this radical crazy people, the socialist Islamic alliance today, I can promise you that our children and our grandchildren will have to wear a hijab to go to school. Ask the people in Iran from 1978. The Christian conservative values that you and I hold so dearly, they want to remove it. They want to take that away. They want to replace it with socialism, Islamism, and all the other isms. Are you ready to fight against that? Yes. This is what you're fighting. This is your team. This is your team. This is what you have on November. This is your team. We are united in principles behind these personalities. We are united because if we don't, our grandchildren will have to pay. We are the party of individual liberty and freedom of speech, and we have strong values and we have strong opinions. That's why Republicans, we always have internal disagreements and conflicts when we come together or on social media. But the question is not, do we disagree? The question is, do we have the conviction to rise above all of that? Put all of that aside. Do we have the leadership to come to a 1776 DNA? Put everything aside so we can fight for 30 million Texans to continue to lead the conservative movement in America. My friends, every generation have to answer something. And from our parents and our grandparents, it was about fighting the socialist Soviet Union. For you and I, it's whether we have the courage, the faith to preserve our faith, our family, our freedom against the socialist evil threats that is now being fueled by the Islamic radicals. It's really not a question whether the battle is real or not. The question is whether will we answer the call. The scripture tells us in Galatians 6:9 that let us not grow weary in doing good. In due season we shall reap if we do not give up. Do not grow weary. Do not grow weary when the media attacks you. Do not grow weary when the political establishment comes for you. Do not grow weary when the fight seems difficult, because every block walk matters, every phone call matters, every conversation matters, every election matters. The future of Texas will not be decided by people who are sitting in the sidelines. It is decided by you, biblical men and women, who are standing firm. When standing firm is not easy. The book of Joshua records that God's command to his people before they entered the promised land: be strong and courageous, do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for your Lord will be with you wherever you go. That is the charge today for the Republican Party of Texas. Be strong. Be courageous. stand for your principles, fight for your families, fight for your community, fight for Texas. And our Lord Jesus Christ will be with us wherever we go. May God bless you. May God bless this great state of, and may God bless the United States of America. I do want to recognize our staff. They've been working hard to put all of this together for past many months. If you guys would walk up, there was a queue. Where are you all? Come on up. Would love to see you all. If you guys can give them a warm welcome, I would really appreciate that. Micah, would you like to take a minute?
Well, hello, delegates. My name is Micah Cavanaugh. I'm the Executive Director for the Republican Party of Texas. They get paid to do that. You do not. So, first of all, I want to give a shout out to the greatest SD in the state of Texas, SD 25 right here. And Anita Valdez, the greatest county chair in Comal County. I want to say something briefly before we continue the business of this convention. I would ask you to join me in recognizing a group of people who rarely stand on this stage and seldom receive the credit that they deserve. It is the staff of the Republican Party of Texas, and I welcome them up here and thank them for their service to you, to the state of Texas. I want to say two quick things. For months, and in many cases years, these men and women poured their hearts into an organization. They work late nights, they sacrifice their time with family, and they carry an impossible workload. But these people here adjacent to me have answered every call that they could, returned calls, and worked hard to make this convention successful, not because we want a successful convention, but because we want to win as Republicans. And this is what it takes, is all of us coming together. I want to say a thank you and a sincere thank you to Chairman Abraham George, because his commitment to our organization has never wavered, and he stepped forward 2 years ago to lead during a pivotal time. He never lost sight of the principles that do unite us, and he has remained steadfast in his belief that the Republican Party of Texas can and should and must be a force for conservative excitement, enthusiasm, and success in November. So today I ask you, yes, thank our staff, thank the volunteers that you see here. We've got pages, we've got sergeant at arms, we've got volunteers helping with registration, and they're doing that for something outside of themselves. They're doing it for a service, a much higher calling, and I am grateful for that, and I'm grateful that I get to be a small part of what these people do every day and what our volunteers are so faithfully doing. So what we're doing here matters, but the work of this convention, it's bigger than one person. It's bigger than an election cycle, and it's bigger than any campaign that we're working for. We are shaping the future of Texas, and we are preserving the blessings of freedom for the next generation, and we are carrying forward a cause that countless Texans before us have sacrificed to build. Let's not fail to do so. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it. Thank you all.
Delegates, please welcome your Vice Chair of the Republican Party of Texas, Dorinda Randall.
That's Texas, home of George Strait, the king. Ain't no such thing as chili with beans. That's Texas, hard as a flat top griddle. Ain't got a band if you ain't got a fiddle. That's Texas with a capital T. If I can't go to heaven, I got a plan B.
Hello, delegates. I'm so excited to have you guys here. Thank you for giving me the honor of serving for these past 2 years. You guys know what convention is all about because it's your convention, because this is the party that serves others. We are the party that really listens to everyone. We are the bottom-up party, starting out with precinct chairs and what all they do to serve their voters in their community and hear their voice. Then you've got our SREC, who are completely amazing. And you have our county chairs that have been doing amazing work without much help from the RPT, but we are going to change that. And when it comes to being across Texas, I've gone to over 120 cities across Texas, and I have gotten to know so many of you. And I already loved Texas, but getting to know you and what you're about and how you want to save this state, I love it even more. And that's why I have the amazing honor to serve you. And when it comes to going across the state, one of the things that I did is I did precinct chair trainings. And I accompanied that with candidate chair trainings. I want you to be equipped with confidence that we fight the Democrats because they're going against us with everything they have. And it's such an evil fight. It's not even about Republican and Democrat now. It is about good and evil. And yes, it is. And while we have had successes, I've been part of this administration that we had successes, but we can do more. It's not about the chair. It's not about podcasts. It's not about any of that. It's about you and me. When I see you guys, I know that the RPT, we could highlight what all you're doing across the state. You are the ones fighting. When I go to all of these cities and I see you guys there, but then you guys also tell me the work that you're doing, that needs to be shown to everybody. Because the more people that see the things that you're doing for the party, for this state, the more people that will be electrified to join our cause. We are the party that wants to protect babies, the most innocent among us. We are the party, yes, we are. Yes, we are, and we don't apologize for that. I adopted my middle son, and life is great, and children are who are worth fighting for. And that's what's about our party. Our party is worth fighting for, and you all know that. This convention is where the sausage is made. This is where you guys get to take the voice of your delegation and you take it here and you help form the laws that our legislators will pass. And we will make sure of that. So I know that you guys have the voice of the people. I do too. I am passionate about this state. I know that we can do better. I know that we can answer every phone call. We can answer every email when we have the right leadership that gets the job done. I will do that with you. The Democrats are determined to turn this in Texas into something that's totally unrecognizable. They want to take our children and do evil things, sterilize them. They want to mutilate them. And then we've got Sharia law just knocking at the door. We don't want to be London. We don't want to be Sweden. If we allow this to encroach on our country and in our state, then we are doomed. And we are, as Texas, we all know that. That's why we fight for all that we can to fight Sharia law. It means something because we've seen the petri dishes of what's happening everywhere else, and we can't be tolerant that we allow certain things, because that's when it festers and grows like a cancer, and then we have lost our state and our country. And Texas is the beacon. If we all know that if Texas, so goes the nation, and that is true. We hold the freedoms of the rest of the nation with us. And that's why it's vital that we have the right leadership, but we also equip our county chairs, our precinct chairs, and our SREC to be the best that they can be to make sure that the Democrats, anytime that they say they're going to turn Texas blue, that they are laughed completely out of our state. I do have a plan. I have a plan to make amazing things happen for us. We've got to be ready for the 250th anniversary that's just knocking at our door. What are we doing? in the Republican Party. Well, when I get in, we're going to make sure that we do something about that. And then also, when it comes to get out the vote efforts for midterms, because after the 250th anniversary, we are going to be full force on that. We are going to make sure we have a statewide block walking effort, a statewide voter registration drive. These are all things that I'm going to make sure that we do because it matters. I did voter registration drives while I was vice chair, and I partner with 17 churches in Harris County. We've got to partner with our churches because, yes, we do. And there's so many churches now that because of the work that My God Votes, Cass and Hiddleston, the things that these pastors have done here in Texas, they're giving a backbone to more and more pastors to speak up against what they're doing. And we have to save our children from what they want to do. And they're going to try to paint themselves as normal. They're going to try to do that. And we can't let them, because we know when the Democrats take hold that they will do what they've been doing. In Texas, we are putting an end to a lot of the things that they have been doing. But a lot of these states around us, many of them are still doing the things to children that we abhor. And we have got to make sure that we stay strong, because if they get in, they will go back to it. The other thing, I was just backstage and I got a Texas Highway Patrol coin. And if you've ever gotten one of these, they are a gift they give to you, our soldiers give to you, and it's something that means a lot to us, but it means a lot to them. We have to make sure that we keep them always in our forefront. The Democrats want to defund these wonderful men and women that serve for us and serve to protect us. We are the only party that stands against them trying to defund these great men and women. That's why we fight so hard for the Republican Party. We want something better. Yes. In the Republican Party, we are the only ones that stand against this, that stand against what the Democrats want to do. That's why we are so adamant about getting our legislation passed. That's why we are adamant about letting the people be heard, because we know we are the last line of defense to hit the firewall against the Democrats. If we let go of what we have here, and if we don't grow, we will lose this state. And this state is too vital for us not to fight. I know that you have it all in you. I have it all in me. I have a plan to make sure that we strengthen this party, because it's worth fighting for. It's worth your passion, your love for this state, because we pray for this state, we love this state, and we'll fight for this state. And I'm going to continue to do that as well. But I need your help. I need your vote. And I need you to know that I have your back, because we are going to make this the best party and the strongest party in the nation. God bless you, and God bless Texas, and God bless the Republican Party.
In Texas, our foundation has always been clear: faith, freedom, and the rule of law. For generations, our communities have been shaped by values rooted in personal responsibility, moral clarity, and a deep respect for human dignity. Men and women have fought to defend something bigger than themselves: the Constitution of the United States, and the freedom it guarantees to every citizen. The Constitution, alongside the Texas Constitution, establishes the framework of our laws, a system built on equal justice, individual liberty, and one standard for all. For lifelong Texans, those principles aren't abstract. They're the reason communities feel stable, predictable, and strong. It's why many believe our laws should remain rooted in those founding documents alone, without outside systems reshaping how justice is defined or applied. Because the values that built this state, faith, accountability, and freedom of conscience, are worth preserving. I am Republican, and I believe Texas should always stand on the constitutional and moral foundations that made it strong.
Jimmy Blacklock is our conservative champion on the Texas Supreme Court. As Chief Justice, Blacklock has taken on the woke legal establishment, ending the American Bar Association's control over Texas law schools and defending judges' rights to follow their faith when declining same-sex marriages. And Blacklock wrote the strongest opinion in the nation, rejecting radical transgender ideology and protecting children from life-altering transition surgeries. Jimmy Blacklock, standing for the Constitution, defending our values, and protecting Texans.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chief Justice Jimmy Blacklock.
Fellow Republicans, delegates, it's an honor to be with you. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I was a delegate myself many times. I've been in your position. I know what this involves, and I want to thank each and every one of you for what you're doing for our party and our state this week. And I'd like to thank two delegates in particular who are very special to me. They're the reason I'm here. They're in Senate District 10. Where is Senate District 10? They're my parents, Talk and Polly Blacklock. Thank you. I love you. I'm so proud of my heritage and my history as a Blacklock. And I'm also so proud of a heritage that we all share together, that I share with you. Our heritage as Texans, as Americans, and as participants in the great traditions of Western civilization that have been handed down to us over the generations. We have been given a priceless heritage of liberty under the rule of law, a heritage of limited constitutional government, a heritage of faith and of family. Defending those beautiful traditions, that priceless heritage, against those who would denigrate them and tear them down, that is why I believe we're here today. That's why the Republican Party exists, to honor and defend and preserve the cultural heritage, the constitutional heritage, the religious heritage that was built for us by our forefathers, to keep alive for posterity the flame of Christian civilization that was carried into the wilderness by our ancestors, to conserve all that is good and true and beautiful about this mighty and prosperous country, now almost 250 years old, which by the miracle of God's providence has been preserved and entrusted to us. That is what the Republican Party is for. I know it's why I am here, and I believe it's why you're here too. We all have a role to play in the defense of what we love. You're playing your role by being here this week and by supporting our candidates. As Chief Justice, my role is to lead the court as we follow the laws given to us by you. Our job at the court is to enforce the laws just as they are written by the legislature, not as we would like them to have been written. And our job is to enforce the Constitution, not based on what we want it to say, but based on what the words of the Constitution meant to our ancestors who consented to be governed by them. That's called originalism. And in Texas, under this Supreme Court, originalism is the law. There is no living constitution in the state of Texas. Now, you may know that the Texas Supreme Court does other things besides just decide cases. And one of the things we do is we oversee legal education and the licensing of lawyers. One of the first things on my agenda when I became Chief Justice was to put an end to the American Bar Association's control over legal education in Texas. You know, until very recently, the ABA was trying to force every law school in the country to adopt aggressive DEI policies. They were using their power to accredit and approve law schools to coerce the schools to promote left-wing political ideas. They were doing that all over the country. But in Texas, your Supreme Court said no. And we didn't just ask the ABA nicely to change their minds. We cut ties with them completely. And because of the court's action, today the ABA has no power in the state of Texas. It gets better. After Texas cut off the ABA, Florida followed. And then Ohio. And then other states announced that they were looking at it. And just a few weeks ago, the ABA announced that all across the country it is abandoning its DEI mandates. So law schools all over the country are going to be freed from those mandates because your Texas Supreme Court led the way. Another action I want to share with you has to do with judges performing marriages. So our Judicial Conduct Commission in the state of Texas had prosecuted a couple of Christian judges who politely declined to perform same-sex marriages. And the court decided we'd had enough of that. We added a provision to the Texas Code of Judicial Conduct to make it very clear that a Texas judge with religious convictions against same-sex marriage has every right to respectfully decline to perform them and to continue performing only traditional marriages. Back on the topic of the lawsuits that we decide, you may have heard that the court a while back upheld the law that the legislature enacted banning transgender treatments for children. The court was asked whether the Texas Constitution protects a right to pursue those treatments. And all kinds of prominent groups, including the American Medical Association, said that it does. And if you're noticing a trend with the American Bar Association and the American Medical Association, you're right. But remember what I said earlier about how we interpret the Texas Constitution. We ask what it meant to the people who ratified it, which in this case meant asking whether Texans in 1876 thought they were enshrining a right to that kind of a thing. And when you ask the question that way, the answer is obviously no. I wrote an opinion that makes this point, and the opinion explains why, no matter what the American Medical Association or anybody else says, the people of Texas have every right to enact laws based on the traditional vision of what it means to be human, created in God's image, male and female. And I don't want to just tell you about that opinion that I wrote. I'd like to show you. If you'll come by my booth, we have a copy of that opinion for everybody who'd like to have it, and I hope you'll read it. And it's a way to see your Supreme Court and your Constitution in action. Please come get a copy at my booth out in the exhibition hall. Let me close with something that may not be familiar to you, but I hope you remember it. It's the official motto of the Texas Supreme Court, and it's in Latin. Sicut patribus, sit Deus nobis. It means, may God be with us as he was with our fathers. My friends, as we move forward to November, let's be a party that stands united for the preservation of our heritage and the defense of our Constitution. Let's put away the attacks on each other. Let's stand together for the truth. Let's do it with joy and love and gratitude in our hearts. Let's vote all the way down the ballot for every judge. Let's win in November. And let's do it not just for ourselves, but for those who came before us and for those who will come after. For now, let's just have a great convention. And as we do all of these things, may God be with us as he was with our fathers. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Texas. Have a great convention.
Delegates and guests, the future leadership of the Republican Party of Texas is now before you. We will begin candidate speeches for the state chairman and state vice chairman. Each candidate will have the opportunity to address the convention and share their vision for the party. Please welcome Robin Armstrong to start the process.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Robin. Morning, sorry. I've been traveling all over the country, all over the world, so my time is confused. My name is Dr. Robin Armstrong, and I represent Texas on the Republican National Committee. And I'm here to strongly endorse Dorinda Randall for chair of the Republican Party of Texas. And I have a few reasons for this. Reason one, the Democratic Party is possessed by evil, and they cannot and should not win any election in the state of Texas ever. We cannot do this if there is a crisis of no confidence in our current RPT leadership. Dorinda has almost half of the board of directors of the Republican Party of Texas either endorsing or supporting her in this race. Dorinda also has over 50 county chair endorsements across Texas, and the current chairman has a mere 8 supporters. Reason number 2, we have to close our primaries, we have to ban taxpayer-funded lobbying, and we have to completely ban child gender mutilation. We must ban this evil practice in our state and our nation, but to accomplish this, we have to elect RPT leadership who can also influence and organize conservatives by effectively communicating what we believe. Reason 3, Dorinda as vice chair has led, organized, and provided accurate information to countless SRAC and county chairs. Why is this important? Because communicating accurate information is baseline and elementary to leading. I'm going to conclude by giving you one major egregious example of a major mishap by the current RPT leadership, and I want to correct this so you know where you're going to be on Friday. This example illustrates and exemplifies why we need a change. Page 25 of your RPT convention guide is completely wrong. You will not be electing national delegates at this convention. You will not be electing a national committee man or national committee woman at this convention. These elections only occur in presidential years. We did this in 2024, and we did this and we'll do this again in 2028. Ladies and gentlemen, our chair should know this. Our chair should understand this. This should not be in this booklet at this time, and a simple proofreading would have corrected this. Houston, we have a problem. Republicans, we have a solution. Mrs. Dorinda Randall.
Hello, delegates, again. Last time I was here, you guys elected me as vice chair, and it's been one of the greatest honors of my life. But I remember one of the things that was happening is you guys came to me out in the hallways and everything while we were leaving, and you came up to me and you said, "I voted for you. I voted for you." And at that moment, I saw this sense of hope that you guys had that I had always experienced whenever I worked for candidates. I've worked for candidates since 2008 to get them elected, to get good men and women elected. And whenever you guys said that to me, the hope that you had was such an enormous responsibility that I knew I had to live up to. And I believe I have. But now I'm asking for you to vote for me as chair. You delegates are the most informed and most educated voters that we have in the state of Texas. And so when it comes to manipulation or when it comes to lies, you know better than all of that. You know what matters too is the endorsements of the people that actually are doing the work, the people that have been intimately connected to the RPT and needed a partner. That's what you needed, and that's why I've gotten so many endorsements. It's not because of friendships or anything of that. It's because I earned that endorsement. And it's not something that I take lightly. It's something that I take with humility and grace, and I know that I want to live up to it, and I will live up to it. And so I also came up with a plan on reddertexas.com. If you go there, you'll see my plan. Now, thousands of you already have, but some of you haven't. Go there, see my plan. We can end the division when we have a plan, when we have a mission that we're all going towards. And that's what I want to do for the Republican Party of Texas. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Texas.
Please welcome to the stage Amy Teal.
All right. Good morning, delegates. You might remember me as the activist formerly known as Amy Hedke, who ran for 3 available positions last convention. Since then, I picked up my MRS, took my husband's last name, and snagged a city's council seat on the little town of Whitney in Hill County. I wasn't planning to run until my new county's convention decided I was too disruptive to serve as a delegate here. Once upon a time, back in 2017, I was literally dragged out of a State Affairs Committee hearing after refusing to comply with Chairman Byron Cook's unlawful recording ban. I spent the afternoon stripped naked in a padded cell, won an injunction against Cook, was back in his committee streaming a few weeks later, the charges were dismissed, and the state convention censured him in 2018. Elected officials who violate the Texas Open Meetings Act should be disrupted. Cook represented Hill County, and some people are still a bit peeved at my role in his censure and my support for Rule 44. At the 2020 dumpster fire convention, I served on the Temporary Rules Committee when we gave Rule 44 the teeth of primary ballot access denial by a single vote. Both the teeth and I were removed for the permanent committee. By 2024, RPT leadership had done a complete 180 and restored primary ballot denial to Rule 44. In 2025, I attended the SRAC meeting that concurred with censuring my state representative, Angela Orr, wife of longtime Hill County Chair Will Orr. Our SD 22 committeewoman, Leslie Thomas, voted to concur with that censure. Elected officials who don't uphold your principles should be disrupted. At our small county convention, both Leslie and I were narrowly denied delegate status in targeted votes where the debate made clear the issue wasn't disruption, it was Rule 44. Weighted voting in a small convention can make secret ballots less secret. For example, Project Red Texas founder Wayne Hamilton, now a Hill County precinct chair, voted against both of us. I support my county's First Amendment right to dissociate from me They oppose your right to disassociate from them. And this presents a stark parallel to how Rule 44 works. My county can block me from being a delegate, but they can't block me from appealing directly to a broader electorate, you. Whether you support me or not, whether I win or lose, every delegate in this room has the legal power to vote for us as chair or vice chair. Had Angela been notified that she was being denied access to the primary ballot, she could still have time to meet the deadlines for filing as an independent candidate and seek the vote of the full body of voters in November. Her choices, not Rule 44, would have decided whether she appeared on the November ballot. I urge you to continue strengthening and applying Rule 44, because rights not exercised will atrophy. Thank you.
Please welcome Gary Teal.
My name is Gary Teal. I know all of you came to Houston just to hear me running for chair. I will address that in a moment. I know that I sat through the Rules Committee for the last 3 days. I was on the Rules Committee 4 years ago, the Permanent Rules Committee. I believe that we need to make a change that temporary committee did not make yet. The Permanent Rules Committee should make a new rule that when you want to run for chair, you have to give 3 months notice and you have to pay a filing fee of $1,000. And somebody said, wow, that's really tough because we don't want to exclude people who don't have $1,000. And the fact is, if you can't find anyone who will give you $1,000 to support you for chair, you're not going to make it as a chair. I want to also, let's have some applause, because I think you ought to hear from chair candidates for 10 minutes, not 5 minutes, because it's one of the most important decisions you'll make today. And when you make the wrong decision, everybody pays a price. I did not talk to anyone before I filed. I have not discussed my speech or anything I'm going to say with anyone. I'm very proud and lucky to have worked for James Dickey in Travis County. I'm very proud and lucky to have worked for John Austin in San Antonio, and I was Grant Moody's campaign manager. None of those people said, it's okay if you say that, so don't blame anyone. I met Amy because I have been very active in the Republican Party for quite some time, and I was going to RNC meetings, and so was she. We quickly figured out that we shared a very important goal and a very important feeling that block walking is what is the key to winning races, and it really is. Block walking is the only time, voters tune out television, they throw away all the flyers that get sent out, but if a neighbor comes to their house and knocks on the door and says, hey, you and I are a lot alike, I've met this candidate, that's unbelievably powerful, and all of you know that. We need to train our precinct chairs and block walkers to understand how powerful they are when they go to those doors and campaign personally. It's really important. Political parties exist to help individuals band together and work together to elect candidates. I think that every member of your delegation from your SD should share their contact information with each other. You're here together in the same room. You don't want to go away and go home and not have a way to contact all those people. This current administration wanted to withhold that information from the candidates. not just from the delegates. So I think that I would push to have that be very clear in the rules. I think we do need to have a little talk, because we have to have 50% of the electorate. Let me hear it from the moderates. Raise your hand from all the moderates. No, there aren't any here. And that's important. We are pretty much the 8,000 most conservative people in Texas. And that's important because it sets an expectation. You're going to be disappointed by the next session of the legislature. But that's okay. What we are doing is playing tug of war, and we're the people at the end of the rope, and we're pulling the hardest to that direction. And so we have to understand that we haven't convinced everybody, because we haven't knocked on everybody's door. But we need to do that, and we need to go and ask more voters to vote for Republican Party candidates. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man who believes transparency and God are the only solutions. The man who made his ending corruption with the RPT his mission since 2022. The man who has said it out loud the entire Magic Bus Tour across Texas for the last 4 years. Your Baba Yaga of the RPT, the Dr. Brooks McKenzie.
My name is Dr. Brooks McKenzie. Many of you know me, many won't. I will be speaking twice as I am running for state chair and vice chair. This one is going to be very quick and very to the point. Many of you do not know how the sausage is made, where the rules are made, how our party operates. That happens Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday here in this convention on the 3rd floor. I've been here all of those days, and we've had some warriors in there. But we have a rules committee that may have some weaker members on there. So I'm going to read out some SDs, your Senate district. And if I read your Senate district out, we need you to replace your temporary member with a permanent member who's a little more conservative. SD 11, SD 16, SD 19, SD 27, SD 28, and SD 29. Please go find a conservative and put them on the Permanent Rules Committee, and I will take my time later. Thank you.
Please welcome Sandra Whitten.
Well, hey, y'all. My name is Sandra Whitten. I am the one that was not expected. I technically, even though we love to give Abraham credit for being the last one to file, I was the last one to actually come into this race. I didn't come in just as a fluke. I didn't come in because I thought it was popular. I came in because we were sick of empty promises. I spoke to Dorinda. I spoke with people who were connected to Abraham because he wouldn't return or call me. I used to know him. We were friends. What happens when people rise to the top unexpectedly, when donors and dark money come pouring in, it corrupts. We claim as the Republican Party of Texas to be the party of our Savior. We claim that we boldly go where no other party goes because we have the victory in Christ. Yet here, within the confines of this building, in every SD across this state, there is division, there is heartache, there is embitterment, there is hurt, and that is not how the body of Christ behaves. When people get divided and nobody comes in to sew the mends, to fix the heart, everyone hurts. There are forces that are working against the grassroots. We've been being treated like AstroTurf. And if we just spray it off, then everything's going to be okay and it's still green. But if we truly believe that we are a bottom-up government, what every single one of us pledges that we fight for, then why are we the ones who are having to get sprayed off when the you-know-what rolls downhill? We as Texans, we as Republicans, we are fighters. I was the underdog in 2020 when I took on Henry Cuellar. I was the underdog in 2022, even though I was the nominee, and I proved everything that I said I could do. We did. We doubled the Republican voter turnout with the smallest margin in state history. I made history in District 28 because of the work that I did, not the RPT, not the GOP, my grassroots in South Texas. We flipped that border for President Donald Trump, and we're going to do it again for Governor Abbott. I am the fighter for the grassroots. I will make sure that our chairman and all 31 districts are represented and that they are appreciated. We will bring restoring the heart to every single county across this beautiful state of Texas. My name is Sandra Witten. I need your support. We are going to go victorious into the night. I will see you in your SD caucuses. Find us. We are bigger than the establishment, and we will win this. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chairman Abraham George.
Oh, well, I'm back. I want to introduce you to my wife, Gina. Today is our 21st wedding anniversary. And I told her I will take her to a very expensive place, and we are here. These are my two beautiful children, Sarah, who's 17, Abel, 12. Where's your button? All right, someone gets this man a button. I grew up as a Pentecostal preacher's kid. My dad is a Pentecostal preacher. I do have to admit that I do actually attend a Baptist church, we as a family, and so my dad is praying for me to come back to Christ. Last time we met, you asked me to get President Trump elected. Well, we, the Republican Party, elected President Trump with a 14-point victory. We flipped 12 Democrat counties in 2024 to Republican. We flipped a Senate seat. We flipped 2 House seats. We passed 43 legislative priorities. We added 5 new congressional districts for President Trump, and we're just getting started. It's not about me. A lot of people say, oh, this is the chairman. Nah, it's not. The chairman, in the words of our former chairman, Steve Ministeri, is the chief beggar of our state. That's pretty much the job. It's not about the chairman, it's not about the SREC, it's not about the county chairs, it's not about any one of us, honestly. This race is about, are we going to have a Republican Party that is strong enough to defeat Tallarico and elect Ken Paxton as our next United States Senator? That's what this whole thing is about. Will we be organized enough that our grassroots have a voice in like we did in 2024, where we will be, or are we going to be drowning in chaos? That's basically what it's about. This race is about whether we have the strength to pass legislative priorities put together by you over this weekend in the 90th session, or are we going to be worrying about selling more T-shirts and errors on our songbook or whatever? It really comes down to 2026 November. A lot of people like Gaylis, a lot of people like all of this stuff. I do too. It's always nice. When you hang out with Republicans, it's nice. It's a lot better. But the truth is, we're not a customer service. We're not Chase Bank. We're a fighting machine. That's who we are, against radical Islam and this radical crazy Democrats who wants to take over our state. We are a fighting machine. That's the call to action. Are we going to do that? This is why I'm endorsed by our current Attorney General, our next United States Senator Ken Paxton, and our Alamo Republicans like Mitch Little, Mike Olcott, Brent Money, Andy Hopper. Just now, Representative Tom Oliverson just endorsed me. Ken Paxton knows what it takes to win an election. The guy's been doing it for a while. He knows we need a strong party that can lead him and our ticket to victory in November. Like I said earlier, 30 years from now, I can promise you nobody cares who the state chairman is or how many t-shirts we sold, how pretty our website is. Those are all great. Again, no one cares about those things. These kids, when I'm gone, and the grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren, your great-grandchildren will not care how much brightness we had in our lighting system today. That was another complaint I heard this morning. They don't care about that, but they will care. They will care about our state. If the state of Texas will that be still a Republican state? Were they going to have the freedom that you and I are enjoying today? Are they going to live under an Islamic regime or a socialist regime like California is today? That's what this is about. That's why you're here. This whole thing is about that. So I'm telling you this, I'm going to make more mistakes. If you don't believe me, ask my wife. But if you give me an opportunity to lead, I can promise you, I'll fight like hell. Everything is on the line to secure and safeguard our Texas. Thank you. God bless you.
Like they count. He is a man who is strong in his convictions, and you can trust that if he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. He's passionate about his walk with the Lord. He is a strong leader, but he's very kind. David has always been there for me. He's always been there for our boys, and he will always be there for the people of Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your candidate for Vice Chair of the Republican Party of Texas, David Covey.
Good morning, Texas Republicans. Somehow, somewhere, someone convinced you this convention was worth your time and investment, and I completely agree. What they probably didn't tell you was you unknowingly enrolled yourself in a Republican fitness program called Operation Walkaround. By Saturday afternoon, your step counts will be higher than James Tallarica's testosterone count. But in all seriousness, the countless hours put in on this committee are important. And as your vice chair candidate, I will fully commit myself to defending and advancing the Republican platform and the legislative priorities put out by you. And that's because these principles aren't just political positions for me. They're personal. I'm a Christian by grace, a conservative by conviction, and a Republican by choice. But not just any Republican. I'm a Republican that fights. The kind of Republican who puts skin in the game and does the work and gets the results. I will fight the giants when and where necessary, and I have a record to prove it. The days of Republicans simply saying the right thing and expecting support are over. We're entering a new era. Today, if you want support, you must lead by action. And that means fighting to conserve the principles that we hold as conservatives. That means fighting to protect life from conception till natural death, because every life is precious. That means fighting to protect the biblical family. That means fighting to protect the God-ordained gender of male and female. That means fighting to limit government in our personal lives, in our business, and in our healthcare decisions. And fighting to protect our private property rights so that Texans can own their property and not rent it eternally. Today, the fight is real to stop the Islamification of Texas, and I will lead in that fight because Sharia law has no place in Texas. To win these battles, we must end, though, the insane practice of allowing Democrats to vote in our primary elections. No more excuses, no more delays. Close the primaries now. Now, some people will tell you that you have to choose between experience and a conservative fighter, but I reject that choice. You can have both. You can have a conservative fighter with experience. As a young person, I served, like so many here, as a page to a convention like this in the early 2000s. I've served as a volunteer, a precinct chair, a county chair, as SREC, and I've learned this party from the ground up. And that experience shapes my vision for what I want to do as your next vice chair of this party. First, I will be the eyes and ears of the chair, helping to keep our leadership connected to the grassroots and accountable. Second, I will pay it forward by recruiting other young candidates, mentoring and equipping the next generation of conservatives across Texas. Because in 2024, when President Trump called this young candidate to tell me he was endorsing me against Speaker Dade Phelan, President Trump rightly said, one person can make a difference. And friends, that one person may be you, that one person may be me, but it will certainly be the young people sitting in this room with us today. And third, I will advocate for opening regional offices in our most loyal, so that our most loyal Republican activists and volunteers can serve beyond the boundaries of Austin, bringing the party closer to the people who make it strong. Because our future depends on growing leaders, expanding engagement, and strengthening the connection between party leadership and the grassroots. I humbly ask for your vote to be your next vice chair of the Republican Party of Texas. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, your candidate for vice chair of the Republican Party of Texas, Amanda Hopper.
I won't fold, I won't break, I'll carry the load, whatever it takes.
Hello, Patriots. My name is Amanda Hopper, and I'm running to be your vice chair of the Republican Party of Texas. I want to ask you a question. Why are you here? You could be at home with your families, or on the beach, or in the mountains, yet you chose to be here. Why? If you're like me, you're here because you know that liberty is on the line. You understand that freedom is not guaranteed, that 250 years ago, it was won against impossible odds, and it has been defended by generations of patriots. Freedom is both a gift and a responsibility, and that responsibility now falls on us. The Republican Party of Texas is made up of people from every corner of this state. We don't always agree. We don't always get along. We are strong-willed, passionate, independent-minded Texans, and sometimes that means that we fight each other. But when the battle truly matters, we unite around our shared principles. We stand shoulder to shoulder. We hold the line. And when necessary, we take back ground that has been lost. That fighting spirit is what built this party, and it is what will secure its future. I am running for vice chair because I believe our government must always answer to the grassroots. The men and women in this room who sacrifice their time, treasure, and talent to defend liberty. Every delegate matters. Every volunteer matters. You are the reason this party succeeds. You are the reason we hold the line. And you are the reason we win. History teaches us that one person can make all the difference. After all, one man's disobedience in the Garden of Eden plunged the world into sin. One man's obedience in building a boat in the desert preserved the future of mankind. And one man's obedience, sacrifice, death, and resurrection brought salvation to the world. Never underestimate what God can do through one faithful person. As vice chair, I will fight for the grassroots. I will fight for our principles and for our future of this party in this state. And in accordance with Romans 1:16, I will not be ashamed. I will stand unapologetically for the biblical truths that shape this union and this state. I will stand firm. The question is, will you stand with me? I would be honored to earn your vote for vice chair. May God bless each one of you, and may God bless Texas.
Please welcome back Sandra Whitten.
I didn't have to get up here from somebody else's merit. I got up here because of the hard work that I've done for the grassroots for the last 7 years. After running for Congress twice, after being heavily involved with the SREC and helping to build local parties and coalitions, to helping to train precinct chairs and county chairs, I have already done the work. My record is solid, my heart is true, and we are battle tested. I'm running for chair because I believe that my vision is the best for the party. But I'm a servant leader, and I understand if you're not quite willing to let me lead the party yet, but you want some accountability. When people run as slates, there's no accountability. I ran on my own because I didn't need somebody by my side, because I have God on my side. When we stand firm in what we believe, we make the difference. It doesn't matter if Abraham becomes the chair again, if I'm your vice chair, because there will be transparency. You will know where your money is going, because I have a history from Texas Fully Loaded to make sure that the truth is always revealed. We will be a stronger party with Sandra Whitten at the helm. Thank you. I promise to the delegates, I promise to the county chairs, and to the people who have yet to make their way to a convention that we will be a party that you can be proud of. Many of you have seen my beautiful children. I have 4, from 21 to 7. I've been in politics since my youngest was 1 month old, because I believe in a stronger Texas. I believe in states' rights, and I believe in accountability, because if we cannot be accountable to our own party, how can we be accountable to the nation? We will make the difference. We will be the change, not some phony Obama slogan, but the real deal, because I am legit. These tennis shoes right here have gotten more traction and more dirt and more halls of Congress than any other pair of high heels that are backstage. I know the players, I know the game, and I know how to get the work done. Sandra Whitten for chair and vice chair. Thank you, Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a moment to recognize our host committee and convention arrangements committee. Steve Evans, Devonia Leach, Grace Leach, Hannah-Beth Jones, Preston Morrison, Chris McNabb, Jill Tate, Brian Patrick, Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Senate District 2, Senator Bob Hall.
Long live liberty. Come on, people, sing with me. Long live
All right. Are we ready for a November election when we wipe out the Democrats? Well, I hope so, because the primary scared me to death. They turned out and we did not. And if we don't make a change, it's not going to happen. But we know God is in charge. He led me to a Bible study a couple months ago that I do every morning for myself. The slides are not working. The slides. Okay. Okay, here we go. He led me to a Bible study, and in it, it talked about the significance of the insignificant. And it got me to thinking about the little things we don't think about how important they are when there are lots of them, and we just count on the quantity of them. And the example they used in the study was a poem that was written back in 1620 and then revised and updated in 1758 by Benjamin Franklin. Some of you may have heard it. It talks about a horseshoe nail, a nail. And it goes something like this: for the want of a nail, a shoe was lost. For the want of a shoe, a horse lost. For the want of a horse, a rider was lost. And for the want of a rider, a battle was lost. For the want of a battle, a kingdom was lost. All for the want of a nail, just a little old insignificant nail. And then, a couple of weeks later, another article I was reading was talking about voting, and it talked about the challenges that had been won or lost by one vote. And the interesting one they brought up as their number one example was in 1845, Texas became a state by one vote. But there was more to the story than that. It wasn't just that one vote, because prior to that, in 1838, a fellow by the name of Madison Marsh got elected to the Indiana Congress by one vote cast by a farmer who showed up just before the polls closed. And his last vote broke a tie. By one vote, Marsh went to Congress. And then in 1840, Edward Hangman was elected to the Senate by one vote, and that vote was cast by Marsh. And then in 1845, when the question came up about Texas being a state, and it was very contentious because it was going to make a big difference in the balance between slavery and non-slavery states, it was tied. But Hangman was the Senate pro tem, and the vice president was out of town, and he stepped in and cast the deciding vote. And Texas was admitted to by one vote. So it means a lot. One vote. Think about that. How important it is. Yet all of us, that's all we have. It's a one equalizer across all ages, all sexes, all races. No one vote is more important than the other, but they're all important, every one of them. And votes are like nails. And so I decided to write my own version of that poem. They may be small, but they're very, very important, just as every vote is important. Here we go. So I wrote a poem. For the want of a vote, a precinct was lost. For the want of a precinct, a county was lost. For the want of a county, a state was lost. For the want of a state, a nation was lost. For the want of that nation, liberty and freedom for all future generations were lost forever, all for the want of a single vote. But the grassroots can make a difference because we are the ones who can determine what that vote will really be. We are the most important out there for the turnout that we're going to have to face. And the responsibility, it's yours. You are the ones who will determine what happens in November far more than the candidates themselves. And what do we need to do? We need to take on a mindset of making sure that we get the turnout. The Democrats had a couple 100,000 more show up in the primaries than we did. But we need to contact everyone to deliver the Republican message of liberty, limited government, and protecting individual rights, and then convince them to show up and vote. And how do we do that? We engage all the time, anytime, anywhere, everywhere. I'll use a good example, my wife, Kay. Everybody says they love her. They might like me, but they love her. Election time, she dons a Bob Hall shirt and puts a bunch of Bob Hall pins on it. And she goes to Walmart. She may only be looking for one or two things, but she'll run up and down every aisle, and anybody makes eye contact, she'll talk to them. And then when she gets in line to check out, she lines the longest line to stand in just so she can talk to a few more people about showing up to vote. And those votes, they're the foundation of every level of election, whether it's at the national, the state, the district, the county, the city. Our precinct votes are what put those folks running for office there. And if it fails, if it cracks and falls down, also does the votes for all of those that we're trying to send to office. And so the bottom line is, you are the nail that anchors the vote in the precinct, that delivers the county to win the state, to save our nation and preserve liberty for future generations. We do this by you being the nail that will not, does not fail. Because the Republican that you don't know or don't like is going to be better than the Democrat you don't know. The Democrats you don't want. So let's make a commitment for this upcoming election that liberty and freedom will not be lost on our watch, period. With that, we take the attitude as, if it is to be, it is up to me, each and every one of us, doing what it needs to be done. I'd like for you to take this pledge and repeat after me. I will be the nail that does not fail. Folks, we got a job to do. We are a God-fearing state, and we will turn to Him and vacate all of our wicked ways. We can get there. And if there's anyone here that doesn't know our Lord Jesus Christ, I would be happy to introduce you to Him. It'll make a difference in your life. God bless you, and God bless Texas.
Home isn't just a place. It's where life happens. It's where memories are made and traditions take root. For some, it's a work in progress. a future taking shape. And for many, it's still a dream. But across Texas, that dream is getting more expensive. Texas ranks among the highest in the nation for property taxes, and they keep on rising. For homeowners, it can feel like paying for value that they haven't realized just to stay where they are. And for many, it's what's keeping them from buying at all. That's why many Texans support efforts to cut property taxes and go even further. Because without that burden, families could invest in their future or simply breathe easier. There's no place like home, and for Texans, it's worth protecting. And that's why I am Republican.
Hi, this is Governor Greg Abbott. Welcome to the 2026 Republican Party of Texas State Convention. This is a pivotal moment for the future of the Republican Party, a pivotal moment for the future of Texas itself. Reckless and dangerous policies from Democratic leaders, it's nothing new, but they cannot be ignored. Democrats are certain that a blue wave will sweep across Texas this November. They are showing up to the polls in record numbers, trying to destroy the values that we hold so dear. I'm here to say, not on our watch will we let that happen. Texas is the envy of the nation because we are guided by common sense values. Safer communities, stronger schools, secure borders, and the bold promise of a future that is built on freedom, faith, and hard work. We find ourselves, however, facing a grim crossroads where radical socialist Democrats seek to indoctrinate a new generation of Texans and Americans. They seek to infiltrate our country, choosing chaos over common sense. But I know a force that is even mightier. It is you, the delegates, the lifeblood of the Republican Party of Texas. Together we will keep Texas a place of strong values, of infinite opportunities that cannot be found anywhere else. Because a united Republican Party is a victorious Republican Party. Thank you for being here. I'll see you very soon. God bless you all, and God bless the great state of Texas.
We are here to defend democracy.
Misinformation poses a threat to our nation's health.
Climate change is an emergency. Democratic socialism.
Codify everyone's right to choose.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15.
Some wireless companies say that they stand for something. What exactly do they stand for, and why won't they say it out loud? Let me tell you what Patriot Mobile stands for. They stand for the lives of the unborn. They stand for the Second Amendment and the right to protect yourself and your family. They stand for our veterans and first responders who sacrifice so much for our freedom. Make the switch to Patriot Mobile today and support a company that doesn't just say they stand for something, but one that stands for the things that matter the most.
President Trump endorses Dan Patrick's re-election campaign and names Patrick chair of the Presidential Commission on Religious Liberty.
The chairman is Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, one of the most highly respected men in politics.
Mr. President, thank you for establishing what I think will be one of the most important presidential commissions in history. In this country, we have a magnificent inheritance of religious liberty. And every believer today, no matter your faith, has a claim to that inheritance to ensure that people could worship as they wished without interference from government. We will serve you we will serve the people, and most importantly, we will serve God.
You're going to do an incredible job. He came to me with this idea. It's a real honor to have you, Dan. Been so respected for so long.
Re-elect Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, conservative leadership working for us, endorsed by President Trump.
I am giving him my complete and total endorsement.
Texas is not just a place. It's people, a culture, a faith forged in the blood of patriots. As your next comptroller, Don Huffines will put Texas first. He's the state senator who sent 6 crooks to prison for stealing our tax dollars. He never took a penny as a senator. No pay, no pension, nothing. And he won't take a salary as comptroller because Texas is business and Texas means business. No corruption, no waste, no woke ideology. He'll doge waste, fraud, and abuse, shrink government, and fight to return your money through property tax relief. Because your money belongs to you, not the government. This is a revolution of old ideas. Don Huffines will fight for the Texas our founders built. Because if we lose Texas, we lose the free world. Huffines for Texas Comptroller, making Texas a lighthouse of liberty, prosperity, and virtue for generations to come. Texas first, always.
Delegates, alternates, and guests, please welcome back your chairman, Abraham George.
Can you take me higher to a place where the line and sea?
You guys ready to do some business? All right, let's do this. Well, thank you all for being here. It is an honor to serve you as the chairman of the Republican Party. And on the year of 250th anniversary of our nation, what a privilege for us to be alive and be here today. It's God's plan. So, it being the June 11th at, what time is it? I knew I was going to get some response. It being June 11th at 10:54 a.m., Chairman, as the set forth by resolution of State Republican Executive Committee, the 2026 Republican Party of Texas Biannual Convention will now come to order. Before we begin, I would like to highlight that the business portion of our General Assembly will be translated in American Sign Language by visual language professionals. This convention is governed by the rules of our party, the Texas Election Code, and the Roberts Rules of Order, newly revised 12th edition. Pursuant to RPT Rule number 33A, as the state chairman, I will serve as the temporary chairman until we are organized. As chairman of the convention, I have appointed Charles Bass, PRP, as our convention parliamentarian, and Steve Evans, PRP, as our convention parliamentarian. Please welcome Charles and Steve. They are going to help me get through the next 3 days. Pursuant to RPT number Rule 33C, the State Republican Executive Committee at the pre-convention meeting adopted a resolution setting forth the temporary officers, the temporary role of this convention, the temporary agenda, and the rules that will govern this meeting until we are organized. At that time, at the same meeting, the SREC appointed Mr. Virgil Cruz to be the temporary convention secretary and Mr. Chris McNatt, there's Virgil and his team, to be the temporary convention sergeant at arms. Those officers will appoint assistants as needed. The chair would like to bring to your attention that temporary supplemental rules for the convention are available at convention.texasgop.org. Pursuant to Rule 6 of the convention, the supplemental rules adopted by the SREC, the chair will have you take a note that 4 sets of lights and microphones on the floor. If you are seeking recognition from the chair, you will go to one of those microphones, tell one of those floor parliamentarians what you are trying to do, and they will direct the sergeant at arms to turn on the appropriate light. If you wish to speak in favor of a motion, the sergeant at arms will turn on the green light. If you wish to speak against a motion, the sergeant at arms will turn on the red light. If you wish to make a motion, the sergeant at arms will turn on the blue light. If you need to make an interrupting motion, the sergeant at arms will turn on the white light. Please only request the white light if you absolutely need to do so. Only make a point of order if you believe the rules are not being enforced. Only make a request for information if you are needing me to provide you with the information. A request for information, according to Robert's rules, is not an opportunity for you to provide me with some information, even though I love some information. Please note, moving the previous question is not an interrupting motion. The floor parliamentarians can help you if you have another question of privilege or are unsure of what category of a motion falls into. Now we're going to the report of the Temporary Credentials Committee. The next business in order is report of the Temporary Credentials Committee. This report will also provide the current numbers regarding registration, convention delegate strength, and the current quorum requirements. The chair recognizes Bonnie Wallace, chairman of the Temporary Credentials Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Bonnie Wallace. Patriot.
Good morning, Texas. I want to give a shout out to SD24. I can see you back there. So I am Bonnie Wallace, temporary chair of the Credentials Committee. The Temporary Credentials Committee met yesterday at 11 a.m. and the report is as follows. We had 0 challenges and we had 2 contests under Rule 27. The Credentials Committee reviewed documents and heard testimony concerning troubling ties to CARE, an organization recently declared by Governor Greg Abbott to be a foreign terror organization for 2 SD11 Harris County delegates, Amjad Mutasib and Tarak Hussein. The committee voted 28-3 that the evidence was sufficient that if the rules had provided a pathway, we would have voted to revoke their credentials in order to protect the convention from foreign influence. Rule 27 precludes the Credentials Committee from considering contests from someone who does not reside in the same SD as the delegate they are challenging. However, we did pass a non-binding recommendation that the state chairman, the general counsel, the parliamentarian, and the state Republican Executive Committee and the convention itself take all appropriate action to protect the integrity of the Republican Party of Texas with respect to delegates Amjad Mutasib and Tarak Hussein. We further recommended that the platform be amended to change the rule which would allow us to exclude anyone with ties to terrorist organizations. The Permanent Credentials Committee will continue to meet throughout the convention to report increases in numbers, but as of 10:30 today, the total registration is 3,301 delegates checked in, 230 alternates checked in from 217 Texas counties. That concludes a report of the Temporary Credentials Committee. I move adoption of the temporary roll of the convention.
Thank you, Bonnie. The question is now on the adoption of the permanent role of this convention as recommended by the Temporary Credentials Committee. Are you ready for the question? All right. Seeing no discussion, all in favor of adopting the permanent role of the convention as presented, say aye. All in opposition, say no. The ayes have it. The permanent role of the convention has been adopted. Thank you, Ms. Wallace. That concludes the report of the Temporary Credentials Committee. The Credentials Committee will continue to provide updates with the supplemental reports throughout this convention. The chairman recognizes our former chairman, Mr. Matt Rinaldi, as the chairman of the Temporary Rules Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Rules Committee received testimony and recommendations for amendments to the party rules this week on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. On behalf of the committee, we moved the the rules and amendments adopted to the permanent committee to be considered today. The temporary supplemental convention rules were presented to the SREC and adopted with amendments. I move the adoption of the temporary supplemental rules.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The question is on the motion to adopt the permanent supplemental rules of the convention. Are you ready for question?
Motion!
Can I speak now? They're going to call you when they recognize you. Oh, I see you. Number 2, you're recognized.
We have point of order. We have no sergeant of arms at this microphone. Also a motion, Mr. Chairman. I move to amend supplemental rules 16 and 17 to move the agenda items for election of state committeeman and state committeewoman. Eric Blake, SD 22. I move to move the agenda items for election of state committeeman and state committeewoman to the second SD caucus to be held tomorrow on Friday. The full extent of the change I have emailed to the secretary. It would consist of striking and electing a district committeeman and district committeewoman from the preamble of Rule 16, putting that in the preamble of Rule 17. It would also change bullet items 10 and 11 of the agenda under Rule 16 and make them instead be items 5 and 6 of the agenda of Rule 17.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Bill Eastland, Senate District 22. I proudly second this motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Give us a second as we put that on the screen. So, are there any discussion on this motion? Mike 1, you are recognized.
Josh Flynn, SD 15. I was on the Rules Committee when we sat there and changed this back to Friday, and then we went to the SREC, and then they changed it back to Thursday. For 50 years, we've always had these elections on Friday. For over a year, we've known when the convention was going to be, a week-long convention, and it was going to be this week, over a year ago. A month and a half ago, we got notice that they're going to change 50 years of precedence to move it to Thursday because of a problem that they had last time that the Rules Committee already fixed. They had election problems with additional time restraints that we fixed so that Friday would be plenty of time to get our SREC elections. This is nothing more than an SREC incumbent protection move. And we need to put it back to Friday so that people that want to run have 24 hours to at least meet their people. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mike 4, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is Chris Bro, SREC SD3. I rise against this amendment. The SREC made this change to facilitate presidential year conventions. Our Friday nights run so late in presidential years that we have to rent out at great expense to you, the delegates, more space time so that we can continue our business. Please, I oppose this. Please vote against this amendment so that we can save money.
Thank you, sir. Give me 1 second. Mic 2 interrupting motion. Mic 2. Yeah. Mic 2, you are recognized.
Jacqueline Murky, SD24. Mr. Chairman, a point of information, can we move or put up on the slides in the back for people to be able to see the red lines and the text in the back, not just the front projectors?
Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second. What's happening in the back? My friends at Pixel Production, are the back monitors not working? They are now. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for bringing that up. Mic 3, I believe. You are recognized. I apologize. There's this huge light on me. I can't see much.
Mr. Chairman, Hunter Bonner, SD1. I would like to reiterate what's already been said, speak in favor of keeping the elections for SREC committeeman and committeewoman on Friday the way it's been for precedent for decades. We have many of our own delegation that is still not here yet, but will be here tonight so that they may vote in tomorrow's Senate District Caucus. So again, I speak in favor, moving it to tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Mic 2, you are recognized.
Susan Wright, SD10. I rise in opposition. This was the result of the feedback from the last convention when our votes lasted so incredibly long that we ended up without time to sufficiently debate the platform. Because of that, the overwhelming feedback to the committee was to change this. It was the unanimous decision of the convention committee that this be changed. And for that reason, plus other supplemental reasons, the SREC voted to put it on Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mic 3, you are recognized. Seeing, are there any other discussion on this? Mic 3, okay, Mic 3, you are recognized.
Please move to the next mic.
Okay, Mic 2, you are recognized.
Mr. Chairman, Eric Blake, SD22 Ellis County, speaking in favor of my motion. The whole purpose of the convention is to get to meet each other. Texas is a big state. We don't always get to see our fellow Republicans. We've been having these for years on Friday. People who have scheduled for years have had to change their schedules, maybe take an extra day off work, maybe get extra babysitting. I would really love us to even move the SREC elections into county conventions. That's a different story. That doesn't affect this convention. But for this convention, there are more people that will be in-house tomorrow than today. If we elect today, we are disenfranchising the people that could not make it. I want this to be the decision of the body, not the SREC. We need to be the party of the grassroots. The body needs to decide when we elect our representation.
Thank you, sir. Mic 4, you are the sorry, Mike. Are you mic 1? That's mic 1, right? Yes, mic 1, you are recognized.
Chairman George, Rachel Hooper, SD 13. I have a point of information for Chairman Rinaldi.
Yes, ma'am, you are recognized.
Why did his committee choose Friday?
Based on the arguments that were presented in our committee meeting, Friday was chosen because, number one, more individuals, more delegates would be available to participate in the election on Friday than Thursday, and an election on Thursday would disproportionately benefit incumbents.
Mike 4, you are recognized. That is the last in the opposition.
Mr. Chairman, Andy Eller, SDSE 24. I rise against this motion. The SRC moved this to Thursday because Friday was a mess issue with. I'm sorry, this mic's got a lot of feedback for me. So anyway, the convention committee came together and began looking at the timing and all the other pieces to this. The delegates came up to us and said basically they wanted this on Thursday. So what we did yesterday in the Rules Committee was bring it to Thursday. We tried that, it didn't work, and that's why the SRC wanted to do it. The members and the delegates that are here really wanted to be on Thursday, and everybody I heard from wanted it to be on Thursday. That's why I went with Thursday in the Rules Committee, not on Friday. So I am against this motion.
Thank you, sir. The debate is exhausted. We are going to a vote. Are you ready to call the question? All in favor of this amendment, please say aye. Aye. All in opposition, please say nay. Aye. Let's do this again, normal voice, if that is possible. If you support this amendment, the election for SREC will be on Friday. If you are against this amendment, the election for SREC will be tonight, this afternoon. All in favor of this amendment, please say aye. Aye. All in opposition, say nay. Nay. The ayes have it. Amendment passes. Are there any more discussion on this report, supplemental rules? Seeing none, are we ready to call the question? All in favor of adopting the supplemental rules, please say aye. Aye. All in opposition, say nay. Nay. The ayes have it. The supplemental rules are adopted.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you for your work. They've been here since Monday debating and fixing the rules for this convention. Please give them a great applause that they deserve it. Convention. The chair recognizes Rachel Heisler, the chairman for the Temporary Legislative Priorities Committee. Please welcome Rachel Heisler.
Good morning. Mr. Chairman, the Temporary Legislative Priorities Committee reports as follows. The committee received testimony and recommendations for the generation of the party's legislative priorities on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week. The committee adopted the following motion: that the legislative priorities as perfected by the committee be forwarded to the Permanent Legislative Priorities Committee for its consideration. The Permanent Legislative Priorities Committee will meet today at 2:30 p.m. That concludes the report of Temporary Legislative Priorities Committee.
Thank you, Ms. Heisler. The question, sorry, wrong page. Well, the report on the Temporary Legislative Priority Committee is informational purposes only, so it requires no action by this convention because we're going to go do this on Saturday. So thank you, Ms. Heisler. God bless you, and thank you for your committee and all the hard work you guys put in throughout last 3 days, but more than that, for many weeks. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Chair recognizes Steve Evans to make an announcement.
Delegates, your Senate District Caucus chairs, please listen up. In the green buckets that you picked up to manage your caucuses, your minutes include the supplemental rules as they were before you just amended them. Now you have amended them, delegates, and the SREC elections will happen on Friday, so your minutes are wrong. Please stop by room 216, Senate District Caucus chairs, and pick up a new yellow sheet of minutes that will have the correct organization on them for you to report those Senate District Caucus chairs, placing the SREC elections on Friday. Otherwise, what's in your box will be incorrect. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. I just want to give a shout out to my SD up here, SD8. Thank you all for being here. And I see my good friend Briscoe Kane up front as well. Chair recognizes Trey Traynor, Temporary Platform Committee. Trey Traynor, if you guys don't know who that is, you probably do. He was the Trump appointee to the Federal Election Commission. He is kind enough to come and serve as the Platform Committee Chair. He's not here. Okay. It is an informational committee, so we'll come back into that. I would love to remind everyone, all the delegates, that RPT Rule 23B requires that any resolutions being offered for consideration by the convention must be filed with the Secretary of the Convention no later than 30 minutes before the meeting of the permanent committees. Let me read that one more time. So, delegates, that RPT Rule 23B requires that any resolution being offered for consideration by the convention must be filed with the Secretary of the Convention no later than 30 minutes before the meeting of the permanent committees. Thank you, guys. Mike 2, you are recognized.
Mr. Chairman, Andy Eller, I was trying to pull in an interrupting motion from Mike 4. They did not recognize that. They did not turn on the white light. That should have been done. I wanted to call for a division vote, and so we need to go back and do a division vote on moving the SREC committee man, committee woman back to Friday.
Andy, is that you? Can you state that one more time, please?
So my motion was calling for a division vote.
On the
supplemental
on the
rules.
Amendment?
No, on the amendment to the supplemental rules. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank
and
you.
They never turned on the white light.
Give me a second. Andy, my friend, I understand your frustration, but the motion was not made timely. Production, please make sure the lights are working properly. We need to move on. Thank you. Mic 3, you're recognized.
Disregard.
I'm sorry. Is that mic 3?
Yes, Mike.
Can you
3.
leave the light on, please, parliamentarians?
The white light? Okay, we
Yeah,
no
that helps
longer-
me see where your guys are standing.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
So now
ma'am.
You can disregard the light.
Go ahead and
now.
make your motion, ma'am. Interrupting motion.
Mr. Chairman, Dwayne Wright, S65. Maybe in the future, when we're addressing items, we make sure to clear all 4 lights before we drop the hammer.
Would you please state that again?
We had someone manning the light who would not turn the light on for the delegates' request. So
Okay.
maybe we just
I will-
make a cursory pass through all the lights. The delay is horrible. As a suggestion for a way that everybody gets heard, because we're here to be heard.
I got it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Mic 1, you are recognized.
Tim Curtis, SD30, point of privilege. We have a spotlight shining right into our eyes, and it's really blinding us and very unpleasant. I don't know why it was turned on, but if it could be turned off or dimmed, we would appreciate it.
We'll do that. Seeing no other discussion going on the floor, next business in order is the report of the Temporary Organizational Committee. This report will contain the recommendations for the convention officials, including the chairman to preside for the remainder of the convention, the secretary, the sergeant at arms. After full report of the committee, the chair will open the floor for further recommendations for each office individually. After nominations for each office has been closed, the chair will put the question for each office individually to this body. Chair recognizes Burgundy Kane, the chairman of the Temporary Organization Committee. Ms. Kane, welcome.
My name is Burgundy Kane, and I'm serving as the Temporary Organization Committee Chairwoman. Mr. Chairman, the Temporary Organization Committee recommends to the SRC the following temporary convention officers which were approved by the SRC. Abraham George, Convention Chairman. Virgil Cruz, Convention Secretary. Chris McNutt, Convention Sergeant at Arms. On behalf of the Temporary Organization Committee, I nominate the following permanent convention officers: Abraham George, Convention Chairman, Virgil Cruz, Convention Secretary, and Chris McNutt, Convention Sergeant at Arms.
Abraham George has been nominated for the permanent convention chairman. Are there any nominations from the floor for convention chairman? Seeing none, you guys don't like me, do you? The nominations for the permanent convention chairman are closed. All those in favor of electing Abraham George as the permanent convention chair, say aye. All opposed, say no. The ayes have it. That Abraham George is elected as the permanent convention chairman. Virgil Cruz has been nominated for permanent convention secretary. Are there any nominations from the floor for convention secretary? Hearing none, the nominations for permanent convention secretary is closed. All those in favor of electing Virgil Cruz as the permanent convention secretary, say aye. Aye. All in opposition say no. The ayes have it, and Virgil Cruz is elected Permanent Convention Secretary. Mr. Chris McNutt has been nominated for Permanent Convention Sergeant at Arms. Are there any nominations from the floor for Convention Sergeant at Arms? Hearing none, the nominations for Permanent Convention Sergeant at Arms is closed. All those in favor of electing Chris McNutt as the Permanent Convention Sergeant at Arms, say aye. All in opposition say nay. The ayes have it, and Chris McNutt is elected as the Permanent Convention Sergeant at Arms. Ms. Kane, thank you for your service and your committees. That concludes the report of the Temporary Organization Committee. As the permanent chair, I appoint the temporary committee chairs to serve as the permanent committee chairs. Delegates, we are now organized. You may submit resolutions at the RPT Information Office in room 216 on the second floor. Again, you may submit your resolutions at the RPT Information Office, room 216 on the second floor. The permanent committees are scheduled to begin at 2:30 this afternoon. So you have until 2 p.m. today, which is the deadline, to submit your resolution to our secretary. Give it to the office on 216. There's no guarantee that you will be able to submit the resolution after the Senate District Caucus. So I would get it done right now before. To summarize, before 2 p.m. in room 216, all delegates should report to their Senate District Caucus. Give me 1 second. What time is it? It's 11:30. 11:45. Is mic 1, you're recognized.
Catherine Brewer, Senate District 28, sorry. My bad, Steve. I'd like to make a motion to temporarily suspend the rules to take up the temporary rules report.
I'm sorry, can you make that motion again?
Yes, I would like to suspend the permanent rules in order to retake up the temporary rules committee report.
Sorry, ma'am, that is out of order.
Thank you.
All delegates should report to their Senate District Caucus. It is 11:30 now, by 11:45, where you will receive updates about what has going on this week in temporary committees and vote for your representatives for the permanent committees. The business in your caucus today will be to elect members to the committees on credentials, rules, platform, legislative priorities, and state nominations. Business in your caucus Friday morning will be electing your SREC members, as well as your caucus recommendation for your state chair and your vice chair. We will meet again in general meeting here at 10 a.m. to hear many of our great statewide Republican elected officials. And having no further business, for this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for being here today. Have a great lunch. 11:45. Get to your caucus meetings.
I spent a lifetime looking for you. looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces, searching right, looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of, hoping to find a friend and a lover. I bless the day that I discovered another heart. Oh, yeah, looking for love. I was alone and no love inside. I did everything I could to get me through the night. Don't know how to start it, wearied mind and I turned to a stranger, just like a friend.